Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at the 2015-2016 housing reapplication room selection process. This is phase 2. Alright, so to get to the application, first you're going to need to log in to your NYU home account with your NetID and password. You should already know how to do this. Once in your NYU home account, go to the NYU Life tab and click the link titled Student Housing and Meal Plan Forms to get access to the application. During phase 1 you should have accessed this area, fall in New York City. Now that that's completed, there should be an additional step 12 built into the application, which you'll see here. From here, this is where we access phase 2, the room selection process. Basically, the section you're looking at right now covers the housing license and what you're going to be going through during phase 2. From here, you'd be clicking save and continue and moving through the room selection guide. So let's take a look at this next step. All right, here we have the room selection page itself. So there's 4 categories. You got building, floor, rooms, and beds. And right here we have the Z guaranteed waitlist section. Make sure you read this to figure out how to get onto a guaranteed waitlist for a hall. Continuing to scroll down here, we also have information about Carlisle Court Tower 1 and the Affinia Hotel. These 2 spaces will only be available for the fall semester, so make sure that you're aware of this if you're considering selecting one of those spaces. Alright, so now we're moving on to the room selection page itself. Alright, so once you select which building you're interested in, you'll be brought to this matrix which breaks down all of the special interest community floors in each building. Just note that unless you applied and were accepted into one of these communities, you cannot select into them. So for example, I cannot select into Greenwich Hotel Floor 7 because I did not apply for that special interest community here. Below that, we have a breakdown. This matrix here covers each floor and the number of single, double, triple, and quad spaces that we have available within each floor. So you click here, you click save and continue, and you move on to see a breakdown of what the rooms are like on this floor. Now this is where your biggest decisions that you're going to have to make with regards to phase 2 are going to be made. So here on the right hand side we'll see the floor plans, which will be juxtaposed by the rooms themselves on the left hand side of the page. Depending on what gender you selected during phase 1, you'll either see M, N, or F, that's male, female, or neutral. That means somebody of that gender is already selected into the space. Alternatively, if nobody selected the space yet, you'll see D, that means dynamic, that means you will be the first one picking a space in there. So we scroll down on the information on this room by clicking the magnifying glass to the left of that, and you'll be able to see any residents who have already selected into the room. In this case, we have Adam, and I can compare myself to Adam, see what his description's like, lifestyle preferences and whatnot. Or alternatively, my group's looking for an empty space right now, so we scroll down at this room. We see there are 2 out of 2 spaces, and after finding out information about the kitchen, ventilation gap, and whatnot, we see that it's empty. So we decide that we're going to select this room, and we haven't really come to a finalized decision yet, so we're going to also select 502. Now, something to note here is that the decisions you make on this step are not finalized yet, so relax. Take your time. Don't make any impulsive decisions that might, hurt you and your roommate's setup, and move on to this next step. So here's where the fun starts. You got 5 minutes counting down here to make your selection, and once that 5-minute window expires, you don't lose your pick or anything. It's just you're reset back to the beginning, where you'll have to select a room from scratch again. So for here, I'm the group leader. I'm going to select my bed, and I'm going to select for each group member. In this case, it's just me and Charlie. However, if you have multiple group members, you'll be able to select for each of them. Also, bear in mind that anybody who's part of a group who decides they want to select separately will have access to their own bed information, but not the group's. So we're going to click Reserve Beds here, and we're going to be brought to the confirmation page. This page is really your final step in order to solidify your housing arrangement. If you do not hit confirm space, then in 24 hours it will auto-confirm. Alternatively, you have that window of 24 hours to reject your space and select a new space for you and your roommates. So make sure you know what you're doing with your friends before you hit confirm or reject, and once that's done, you'll have a reservation for the 2015-2016 academic year. From here, you can just log out, head back to your NYU home account, and you're all good to go. So any other questions, feel free to email us or call the housing office. And thank you.